let's look at a poem from SIRI Kannada grade 8. The name of the poem is SOMESHWARASHATAKA and it is written by Puligere Somanatha. So, Shataka Sahitya is one kind of Kannada literature. It is composed by the poet Somanatha. He lived during the 12th to 13th century and whatever he is written is famously called as the Someshwara and it is mostly in the form of a song. It preaches how to lead a righteous life full of moral values and whatever is preached here it still holds relevance even for present times. So the present poem, it tells us about the duties and responsibilities of parents, teachers, children, king, ministers, soldiers, how they should fulfill their responsibilities with dedication and sincerity. This sense of duty and responsibility leads us to reach God. Also, it tells us about the positive changes that take place by the grace of God. So let us look at it is 4 paragraphs. Let us look at it one by one. First, I will read it. The Kannada is a little different here, and then I will split it and explain about what each paragraph tells us. So, this is the first paragraph. Hitavam toruvanatma bandhu porevatam tande saddharmadha satiye सर्वक्य साधनम कलिसिदातम वर्णमात्रम गुरु श्रुति मार्गम विडदाता सुव्रति महा सद्विद्ये पुण्यदम सुतने सद्गति दातनै हर हरा श्री चन्न सोमेश्वरा. So the first line we have to split it here. So hitavam Toruvan Atma Bandhu. So this is how we split it. Toruvan Atma Bandhu is split as Toruvan Atma Bandhu. Hitavam Toruvan Atma Bandhu. So a person who sincerely wishes good for you, who is your well-wisher, is the best friend or relative. Then Porevatam Tande Sadharmadha. So Porevata means a person who protects and takes care of you. So, who protects and takes care of all the needs of the child and the family. He is the best father. This is the characteristics of a best father. Satiye sarvasadham. So, a woman who understands her responsibilities and takes care of the family is the best wife. Sati means wife. The word Sati means wife. So what's the responsibility of a wife? To understand everybody and take care of the needs of her family. Kalisi datam varna matram guru. So kalisu means to teach. Varna matram, even a single alphabet. So a person who teaches you even one single alphabet is considered as a teacher. So a child, before a child goes to school, the child is taught at home by the parents, by the grandparents, and if the child has an elder sibling, so they are all like the teachers for the child. So a person who teaches you even one alphabet is a teacher for you. Then Shruti Margam Vidadata Suvrati. So Shruti means Veda. Okay, following the path of Veda means following the righteous path. A person who follows righteous path is the best sage or rishi. Then Mahasadvidye Punyadam. So a person who has gained the best of knowledge is the most fortunate or the blessed person. So he is describing the various characteristics of each person in the society. Then Sutane Sadgati Datanai. So a person, Suta means son. Okay. So a person who takes care of his parents is the most virtuous son. And this is told by the poet Somanatha. Hara Hara Sri Channa Someshwara. Then the next paragraph, this talks about how the king, the ministers and the soldiers should be. It is talking about the characteristics of how a king, minister or a soldier should be. ಪ್ರಜೆಯಂ ಪಾಲಿಸಬಲ್ಲೊಡಾತನರಸಂ ಕೈಯಾಸೆಯಂ ಮಾಡದಂ ನಿಜಮಂತ್ರೀಶ್ವರ ತಂದೆ ತಾಯ ಸಲಹಲ್ ಬಲ್ಲಾತನೇ ಧಾರ್ಮಿಕಂ ಭಜಕಂ ದೈವದ ಭಕ್ತಿಯುಳ್ಳೊಡೆ ಭಟಂ ನಿರ್ಭೀತ ತಾನಾದವಂ ದ್ವಿಜನಾಚಾರತೆಯುಳ್ಳವಂ ಹರಹರ ಶ್ರೀ ಚನ್ನ ಸೋಮೇಶ್ವರ. So this one is this we have to take only till here. So prajayam palisa ballodatan arasam. So prajay means citizens or the people living in the kingdom. So a person who protects his citizen is a true king. Then Kaiyasayam Madadam Nijamantrishvara. Kaiyase means accepting bribe. Okay, a person who does not accept bribe. He is the best minister. This is the characteristics of a minister. He should not accept any bribe and work sincerely. Then the next one is Tande Tayi Salahal Ballatane Dharmikam. A person who takes care of his parents is the most righteous person. Tande Tayi is parents. Salahal means to taking care. Taking care of his parents, a person who knows his duties and responsibilities about or towards his parents, he is the righteous person. Bhajakam Daivada Bhakti Yulode. A person having true devotion towards God is the best devotee. Bhatam Nirbhita Tanadavam. Bhatam means a soldier. So a person who does not fear for anything under any kind of circumstances, that person is a true soldier. Then Dvijanacharate-yullavam. A person having great qualities and character and follows righteous path is the most knowledgeable person. Then Harahara Sri Channa Someshwara. This is how Somanatha ends each of his paragraph. Then Ati Gambhi. So the third paragraph, it specifically tells about the characteristics that a minister should have. See, usually ministers are the ones who advise the king. They tell the king or give lot of suggestions and advice to the king. So they also have to be very good as the king, because they are the ones who are showing the king the right path, who are giving him suggestions and advices. So this paragraph completely talks about the good characteristics of a minister. So Ati Gambhiranudara Dhiranu Maha Sampanna Satyatmanurjita Nana Lipi Bhashayul Parichitam Lanchakke Kainidadam Vratasadharma Vicharashali Chaturopayangalam Ballavam Patikaryam Varamantriyai Harahara Sri Channa Someshwara. Ati Gambhiran Udara Dhiran. So this line we have to split as Ati Gambhiran Udara Dhiranu. So a person who is very dignified. Gambhira means dignified. Udara means very generous. And Dhira is courageous. So a person who is very dignified, generous and courageous. Maha Sampan Satyatmanan. Having all the righteous qualities and being honest. Maha Sampan means having righteous qualities, and Satyatman means being honest and truthful all the time. Urjita Nana Lipi Bhashayul Parichitam. So a person having knowledge of the various languages and their scripts that are in practice. Then Lanchakke Kainidadam. A person who does not accept any bribe. Then Vrata Sadharma Vicharashali Chaturopayangalam Ballavam. So Vrata Sadharma means following the rules. The kingdom and the king, they would have given some special rules how the citizens should live. So he should follow all the rules. A person who follows all the rules. Then Vicharashali means who can think clearly, who is able to think clearly. And without being biased, having a clear view and vision. Then Chaturopayam. So Chaturopayam, these are the 4 techniques. Usually when a king should be tactical, he should be very tactful in dealing with all his citizens or neighboring kingdoms. Right? The king has to face everything very tactfully. So they have to apply these 4 management techniques. So Chaturopayam, Chatura means 4. Okay, the 4 techniques or tactics that the king, a king and also a minister should be able to do it, because the minister is the one who advises the king also. So what are the 4 management techniques? They are like Sama. Sama means creating peace and harmony. Dana, to gain goodwill by in the form of rewards and recognition. And then Bheda, understand the different type of people and then manage them effectively. Dhanda, to punish and to bring in discipline. So king should tactfully handle all these things. He should know how to apply any one of these rules and tactfully handle his circumstances and conditions. So even the ministers should be capable of doing all this. Then Patikaryam Varamantriyai, a person who is sincere and completely supportive of his king. These are all the characteristics of a minister, a good and a best minister. Hara Hara Sri Channa Someshwara. Okay, so the first paragraph was about the people living in the society, that is father, mother, teacher, son, wife, what should be their characteristics. Then the second paragraph talked about the characteristics of a king, a minister, then a soldier, and the third one is specifically talking about the characteristics of a minister, because a minister plays a very important role in managing a kingdom. He is the one who gives a lot of suggestions and advices, and upon whom the king also trusts and does according to what the ministers tell him. Ministers advise. The king actually considers the minister's advice too much before he takes any decision. So the minister should be a very virtuous and a right person. So the third paragraph mainly tells about all the characteristics of the minister. And then the last one is talking about the changes, the positive changes that we see. So, Mudurajam Kalegundi Percha Dihane Drugrodha Bijam Kelam Sididam Permaranagade Yelagaram Yettagade Lokadol Midi Pannagade Daivanolme Daivanolme Irala Kalanu Tam Badavam Ballida Nagane Hara Hara Sri Channa Someshwara. Udurajam Kalegundi Percha Dihane. So Uduraja means the moon. Okay, so the moon is not always round all the time, right? The moon sometimes is in a very small crescent shape. Then sometimes it's a full moon and sometimes you don't see a moon at all, right? So the moon changes. Even the moon is changing. The moon also undergoes a change. So moon changes as it becomes a full moon from a new moon. Then Nrigrodha Bijam Kelam. Kelam is few. Okay, Nrigrodha Bijam means the seeds of the banyan tree. Sididam Permaranagade. They germinate, those seeds. Some of the seeds they germinate and they become huge trees. This is a change. A small seed, which is a small seed today, will become a huge tree tomorrow. The moon, which is in the shape of a crescent, small crescent shaped moon, becomes a whole, full moon after a few days. Then, Yelagaram, Yettagade Lokadul. Yelagaram means a calf. A small calf which grows and it becomes a cow. After a few days, it becomes an adult cow. Midi Pannagade. So a tender or a raw fruit. It ripens and it becomes a tasty fruit. So these are all the changes that we see in nature. So Daivanulme Iral Kalanu Tam. So as the time changes, Kalanu Kalakke means as time changes, and if there is God's grace and blessings, Badavam Ballidanagane. A poor man can also become very rich. Hara Hara Sri Channa Someshwara. So this is Someshwara Shataka.